Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm so excited. I'm gonna be doing a review, first impression, demo on the new Jaclyn Hill Highlight Collection. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I forgot the time of the launch. So I was like 45 minutes late on the website trying to get everything. So I didn't end up getting the palette, which really makes me upset. But I did get the palette this morning because this morning, the day I'm filming this, was the relaunch or the restock or whatever. So I did get the palette. So I will show you guys the palette in a later video. But for today's video, I just have the other two products. But I'm still really excited about those ones, and hopefully you are too. And yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a little cute little demo, and then I'm gonna give you kind of my opinions on the products as well as how I feel like the launch went. So if you want to see, if you're interested, then just keep on watching. So like I said, I was late because I forgot. And so I got the Moodlight Loose Powder, which is like the softer one. I got a color that I wasn't intending on getting. I wanted to get like Brilliant or something like that, like the second color, not Do Me, the one that was a little darker than that. And I ended up getting the shade Carrots, which was the middle shade. So I'm hoping it's not gonna look too dark. I swatched it last night when it came in the mail, and it doesn't look too dark, so we'll see how it actually like goes on top of makeup. And then I got the Beaming Light Loose Highlighter, the really intense one, but they only had the color I wanted in the bundle at that point, so I had to buy it with a brush. So I got the bundle with the brush. Now, thoughts on this. Wait, I'm gonna save those thoughts for later. Okay, we'll save the tea for later. Let's show you the products first. Okay, so right now, I'm gonna push my bangs back here. I have my eyes done in case you're interested, because I love my eyes so much today. I used my ColourPop Bare Necessities palette for my eyes, and then I also topped my eyes with the ColourPop Super Shock Shadows in the shade called 3. It's just called like number 3. Beautiful, like deep shimmery brown, as well as the shade Ladybird, which is an amazing glittery, super glittery champagne color. So that's on my eyes, just some liner and some little cute boring lashes. I did my face makeup already, and then again, just in case you're wondering, I used my L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation. I used my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, and then I did a little bit of my Maybelline Fit Me powder, but literally just under my eyes to set my under eyes. So it's literally just like right here. And I'm gonna be using this to set the rest of my face. So let's get started with that. This product I'm so interested in because I know that Jaclyn really loves the Lancome Absolute powder, and I feel like she basically created her own Lancome Absolute powder. Like, that's how I feel based on like the looks, like the way she uses it, the swatches I've seen, the way it's explained. That's pretty much what it seems like. It's like a dupe for the Lancome Absolute powder. If you don't know, that powder's like $60 for one jar, which is crazy. So your girl will not be ever buying that because it's way too expensive. So I'm hoping this does a similar thing, because then I could just buy this and it's cheaper. So like I said, I got the shade Carrots, which is the middle shade. So I'm hoping that it doesn't make me look orange. All right, so let's just get started. To apply this, I'm gonna use a Peaches PC05. I want to use like a bigger brush for this. Just so I can like really buff it in. So I'm gonna grab some product, get it into the lid, and then just kind of go over everywhere I didn't set, which is basically everywhere except under my eyes. So it's definitely not too dark, thank the Lord. And I think that's one thing that I initially felt when she was doing like swatches of everything. I thought to myself, there's not really, I don't feel like enough color variation in this particular formula. I felt like the Flash and the Flare palette, you know, based on swatches and everything, it looked like that was a really great color story in terms of being really inclusive and really diverse for a lot of different skin tones. But this powder in particular, with all the shades, it seemed like they didn't go dark enough. So I would be concerned that like if you were a really deep skin tone, that you would look like really ashy, even in the darkest one. And I honestly kind of felt that too, like in the promo pictures. The deepest skin tone model they had in like the promo pictures, I kind of felt like she looked a little ashy. I don't know if that's just me. Let me know what you thought. But I felt like especially like on her shoulders and something about her like face makeup, it just felt off. And it felt weird and like it looked a little bit strange. You know what I'm saying? Like the color looked off. And I think it's honestly, like I said, I think it's because these don't go dark enough. Who am I? I've only done makeup on a million people at this point. No, but I mean, honestly, I've done makeup for the last 10 years in cosmetics and like retail. So I have literally put makeup on probably thousands of people at this point, worked on so many different skin tones. So I don't know. I feel like I can generally tell by looking at something because of the experience I had. And I definitely feel like they look like they went a little light. But anyway, so that's carrots all over. And that's kind of exactly what I thought it was going to do in terms of the look I'm getting. Let me get a mirror so I can look closer up. So basically set my foundation and it gave just like a soft sheen all over. So I feel like now I have a very soft sheen. So that's nice. I do feel like it's definitely like accentuating texture and stuff for sure. Like I definitely feel like my face looks a little bit cakey after I put that on. So I don't know. I'm gonna try it with some other foundations, but first impression, just putting that on is, I'm not impressed. I think with this, I wonder, I'm going to keep trying it, you know what I'm saying? I'll keep trying it in future videos and everything, of course. I'm thinking maybe if I set first with my regular powder that I like all over, and then maybe going in with this more sparingly, kind of dusting all over, it might give me a better result. Because I think using it just to set my foundation all over, it's just not, it's like what I thought it was going to look like, but it's not as smooth as I thought it was going to look. You know what I'm saying? I definitely feel like I look more textured now after using that. And I know that they claimed and they talked about this being blurring. Let me see if it's on the box. It's not on the box, but I'm fairly certain, I'll put a little blurb here, that they said it was going to be like blurring. So, I'm a little I don't hate it at all. I just think I need to set, like I said, set my face first with my powder I love, and then use that as a topper, as opposed to using that as a full-on setting powder. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Okay, I'm going to throw on some bronzer really quick. I'm going to throw on some bronzer, and in the spirit of being like a glowy bitch today, I'm going to use my MAC Global Glow highlighter, which I like as a bronzer. I'm going to use this as bronzer today just to kind of keep with the theme of being super glowy, because this is a bronzer that's going to add some glow to my skin, because it's not a bronzer, it's technically a highlighter. But as an artiste, you kind of do what you want and find new ways to use products. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do real quick. To apply this, I'm using the Jaclyn Hill Morphe Collab Brush JH05, which is definitely one of my favorite bronzer brushes. Really quickly, I'm also going to throw on some blush before I do highlights. And I'm going to use my Juvia's Place Saharan 2 blush palette. And I think today I'm going to use B. I really like this shade, just like a mauve-y kind of color. I'm going to go really light with this just to give some color. Okay, so now we're going to go into the Beaming Light loose powder. This is supposed to be the most blinding highlight formula of all of them. And I got the shade Bomb. And like I said, I mentioned in the video already, I mentioned it online, on Instagram, whatever, a million times. I had to buy it with a brush. So I'm going to use the brush just because I have it. So this is what she looks like. I don't like fan brushes for highlight. So we will see how this goes. She mentioned that in her video, I believe, that this was like, it's softer, it's not so firm, so it's good for highlight, because that tends to be my gripe with fan brushes. The only fan brushes I've ever really loved was the MAC Duo Fiber fan brush that was like at pro stores only. That's the only fan brush I've ever really loved because it was flimsy. in the best way, because the flimsy highlight brushes, I feel like, give you the most blinding effect. They apply the product the best. When it's too firm, I feel like you can't blend it very well. So I don't like a firm fan brush, so let's see if this is firm or not. So I'm just applying some of the product, and let us apply her. Wow. That's very pretty. So the shade, as the name suggests, is Bomb. However, I hate this brush, and I hate that I had to buy it just to get the highlight, and we'll talk about that later. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my favorite highlighting brush, which is, or one of my favorites, the Morphe M501. And then let's try this again. So, you know, that applies it just like so much better and easier. All right, guys, so we are now highlighted all over. Really quick, I'm gonna throw on my lip. And just to go with this look, I'm gonna do a cute little glossy nude lip. I'm gonna use ColourPop BFF lip liner with the Morphe lip gloss and Flower Crown. So I'm gonna throw that on really quick, and then I'm gonna come right back and give you my final thoughts and spill some tea on how I'm feeling about this whole collection. So I'll be right back. All right, guys, so I put on my lip. Love how that turned out. So let's talk about this. I have a lot of thoughts. I have some thoughts, nothing crazy, but I want to be completely honest with you guys. So if you've watched me long enough, you guys know I am very honest about how I feel about products. I am not beholden to anyone to speak a certain way about a product, and I like that because I can just give you guys the real tea and everything and how I feel about things. So how I feel about this is so far a little bit let down, honestly. And I didn't think I was going to feel that way. So I guess the first and foremost is that these products are good. Like both of these, I think they worked well. Like I think my skin looks super nice. I think it looks fine. I already mentioned in the video about this that I'm like kind of on the fence about it because I see how it could look really good. I just think I'm gonna have to use a different way, like I mentioned already. Maybe setting all over with my Maybelline powder, which gives me that like super smooth poreless effect first, and then going in with this with a big fluffy brush and just sort of tossing it all over to give me that like subtle all over glow, because it definitely gives you that like a really subtle glow, which is really pretty. I just don't want to use that as an actual setting powder because I think using it over the wet foundation, it just clung too much and too weird. Whereas like I said, I think it would look even better if I put it over top of an already set face. Like I said, just to add the glowiness, I think that would work better. So I don't hate it. I just don't like it the way that I initially tried it, and I want to try it a different way. So I don't, like I said, it's not terrible, but by any means. I think it's going to look nice if I use it differently. But like I said in the video too, I think the color range is kind of meh, and I think they need to add maybe another darker color, because if this is the middle color and I'm not even tan right now, and this looks completely fine on me, and then there's only two darker colors, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's sheer, but I think you could maybe add a couple more shades. Maybe she will eventually, I don't know, but not really, because apparently this is limited edition. So yeah, the loose highlight is very pretty. Like, it looks super cute. It doesn't accentuate my texture and make my skin look more textured than any other highlight that I like. So I enjoy that. I want to show you guys something really quick though, because as I was putting this on, I was like, oh God, this color looks kind of familiar. I want to compare it to one of my other favorite highlighters. This is the Juvia's Place loose highlighter in the shade Heroin, just because I kind of want to see. I've been doing a lot of videos like between yesterday and today, and I've swatched the crap out of my arm, and I literally still have swatches and I can't get them off, and I shower, babe, so don't come for me. But I literally like can't get them off, so I'm sorry if you see other like rando swatches on my arm. So this is the Juvia's Place highlighter in the shade Heroin. So that's what that looks like. I don't know if you can see it. It's right here. It kind of blends with my skin tone, but you can see the glowiness of it. And I'm just kind of curious to compare hers. Yeah, See, so I'm putting hers right next to the Juvia's Place. They're literally the same exact color. I don't know if you guys can tell, but they're almost exactly the same thing. And that's my first thought as I was putting this on. I was like, wow, this looks just like my Juvia's Place highlighter. And this bottle of the Juvia's Place, let me see if it tells me how much is in it. I'm gonna find that really quick. All right, so the Juvia's Place highlighter has 0.45 ounces of product, and the Jaclyn Hill one has 0.14 ounces. So this is 3 times the size of this one, and these are $12. And I think this was $24 is how much these are. Okay, so literally if you want bomb and you didn't get it and you like the color, this Juvia's Place Heroin highlighter, which I got at Ulta, is literally almost exactly the same color for way less of the price, and you get a lot more. So, but that doesn't diminish the fact that this is nice. I mean, the packaging is nice. I enjoy the packaging. They did ship in quite a big box, so it's sort of like a waste of a large box. It's like a huge box with just 2 little things in it. But let's get to the tea. And this isn't necessarily completely just about like Jaclyn, because I will be fully transparent. I used to be a store manager for Morphe before I had to move away. I would still be with Morphe had it not been for my husband being in the military and us having to move away. And I had the opportunity when I was with Morphe to meet Jaclyn and like her whole team several times and work with them on several different things, because she did our grand opening at my store when she filmed her Christmas video last year, doing like she gave like a couple of her subscribers like a shopping spree at a Morphe store that was at my store. And so I was like part of that filming and everything, which was really cool. And I met her a couple times, and she's so nice, literally so nice. It makes me like kind of upset, or it's just lit when I see people talking so much shit about her, because I've literally met her in person. And she's a really nice person. So it's not necessarily that I feel this way specifically about her. I hate this whole marketing ploy in general, of the scarcity marketing, I believe it's called, where like you have like a new product launch and they'll label it limited edition. They'll say they sold out, we're gonna do a restock, like that whole thing. It's just such BS. It's so annoying. And like, so for the company, and again, this is not like Jaclyn, she obviously has like a whole team of, you know, a marketing team and people who are in charge other than her making business decisions. You know what I'm saying? And so the whole vibe of like, it launches one week and then it sells out, but then it's available like literally 7 days later, it's going to be available again, like the whole thing. And then also, by the way, like the day before it restocks, it's also now going to be available at all Morphe stores. It's like, that's good. Like, it's great to have like the availability to have it. But for someone like me, it's just such BS. It's just annoying, the scarcity marketing of it all, because it's like, I just reordered the highlighter palette because that's really what I wanted out of the whole thing. And it's just annoying because like the whole process with like, oh, we only have it, you know, in the bundle with the brush. I didn't want the brush. And like, to know that a company had the product that I really wanted, but then just made it seem like they didn't have it, which forced me to have to buy other products I didn't want, like the bundle with the brush. That just annoys me, that whole marketing ploy, because then you're like making people buy things they don't want to buy, because you're kind of capitalizing on the fact that you know people want it, and you know that, you know, if you do that, you're going to get more money because they're going to end up buying a bundle or something because they really want just one product. And it's sort of annoying because I'm not going to use this brush ever. So it's a waste of my money. Like, I spent an extra like $15 or something just to have that brush I didn't want. You know, it's just so annoying, that whole marketing ploy. And especially because, you know, they had the stock because now it's available in Morphe and they restocked online. And again, this isn't against Jaclyn because she's not, you know, solely making these decisions. It's not her that came up with this marketing. It's just something that companies in general, especially makeup companies, know works now. And it's just ugly and I hate it. And so that's kind of my bitching moment about that, because you had the stock obviously, but you chose to make it seem like you didn't, and then you said it was limited edition, but now you can just, it's available again, and it's going to be available like in stores too. So like, what is it? And it just kind of puts people off from wanting to continue to buy, because you're kind of like, you're using all these ugly marketing schemes against me to make money, and it's gross. You know what I'm saying? It's like this gross consumerism. And you know, that's not necessarily like, it's not that I don't think consumerism or capitalism or whatever, not to get political, I'm not gonna get political, but not to say that anything's necessarily 100% wrong. Like, there's good and bad to everything. It's just ugly and I hate it. And that is really, I think, my biggest ugh about this, is all the marketing BS behind it. Because like I said, if I'm just speaking on the products, I think they worked well and I like the way they look for the most part. It's just all the ugly, gross bullshit marketing behind it makes me not want to be involved in it anymore. And again, this is not just Jaclyn, like this is everything in general. And you know, I buy from Jaclyn because I've met her in person. Like I said, she's very nice. You know, I watched her since, if you watched a video, I uploaded a video like 8 years ago, probably talking about beauty, being a beauty guru and the stress and the whatever. And I talked about this story about how I started following Jaclyn when she had 100 subscribers. I was literally one of the first people to follow her. And I remember like, I messaged her back then because like I had 400 and it was like this whole thing. It was so cute. And asking her if she wanted to do a collab with me, and she turned me down, but she was so nice about it. And then she like blew up and it was like so great. And so I feel kind of personally invested because I've literally been watching her since she started YouTube. So I've literally bought like every single collab she's ever done for the most part. So, you know, I enjoy like, supporting her, because I do feel like the makeup industry is partially what it is because of her. Like, there were definitely, I feel like, some trends that I think she started, and I learned a lot from her. And so I'm not upset about like, you know, supporting her. I bought her lipsticks. I had no problem with her lipsticks. I just hate how ugly and gross marketing schemes have gotten. And this is a whole long tangent, I know, but that's honestly it. It's just this bullshit marketing. It pisses me off, and I kind of hate it. So that's kind of that. So get back to the review. I definitely think they're nice. Like, I definitely, you wouldn't be upset if you bought it. I'm excited to try the actual highlighter palette. I wish, again, with this whole marketing BS, I could have just ordered it in my first order and not have to wait like for separate shipments when they obviously had it, but you know, it is what it is, whatever. And so I will definitely use that in a future video and let you guys know what I think of it. But yeah, those are my thoughts on this launch. I know this was long and it got really intense, but I hope you enjoyed this video, still found it helpful and interesting and all that jazz. So yeah, that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you are new, I'd really appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel. Helps me out a lot. I am kind of the YouTuber that does a lot of makeup tutorials. I know not everyone's about that, but I'm big on makeup tutorials. That's what I love to do. That's what I do mostly on my channel. So if you like that, you want to get back into old school YouTube and YouTube makeup tutorials, then I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. And yeah, that's kind of it. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I will see you next time. Bye.